Welcome everyone, this is Pineleaf, and today we are starting a new series, Piney Plays the Duergar, where we will be playing the latest race being added to Dungeons & Dragons Online. This is part of the upcoming Terror of Demogorgon expansion that is now on pre-order at the DDO store in there. And we're going to go through also the various contents of the pre-purchase packages in there. Obviously, the content is not ready, and I will be taking my Dragon Disciple through the content when we reach it up there. For now, let us go concentrate on the character here and see how this character plays. See if this is a race that I will play a bit more of, or if it's one that's just going to be left aside there. Now, I don't have a good history in playing dwarves at all, so therefore, I don't expect to be playing it a great deal. Of course, 2 years ago, I wasn't expecting to play the Dragon Disciple a great deal and see what happened there. So, what do you get in this package? Well, if you just buy the standard edition of the expansion, you are going to get the Terror of Demogorgon content and the Duergar character race. So let's now build a Duergar here. First off, what class should I play? How about if I flip what I've been doing recently? I've been recently playing a Dragon Disciple. There for someone who probably looks upon dragons as something to emulate. I think I'm going to make a dragon slayer this time. Someone who's going to be specializing in going after them. I think that would be a ranger most likely that will work for this. So I think rangers are specialists. Let's go into the class list and see. Yes, rangers. So I'm going to go for a ranger. Now, do we want... What's the difference between a Dark Hunter and a regular Ranger? Dark Hunters strike terror into prey. They are infused with the energies of the Underdark and can effectively use and disarm traps. Ah, and let's face it, we're playing a Duergar, so therefore infused with energies of the Underdark is perfect for it. So we'll play a Dark Hunter. I've never played a Dark Hunter before. I don't understand exactly how this type of Ranger works. I have no trouble understanding how regular Rangers work. So it'll be a nice experiment in there. So now we go into our path. I don't think there's going to be a path. I suspect, yeah, it's going to be a customized one in here. Obviously, we are going to be playing a Duergar. That is the entire purpose of this. Yikes. Duergar begin their journey in the Forgotten Realms. Now that's rather unusual since usually we start in the Borderlands. How can you start in the Forgotten Realms? There aren't any low-level quests in the Forgotten Realms. Oh, I guess we're going to have to find out what that means in there. I suspect I'm going to hit start. I'm going to see cheats again as usual, and that's the flavor text is going to be gone. But hailing from the Underdark, Duergar are excellent at delving into the unknown. They can harness psionic powers to change their size, allowing them to excel at variety of roles. Well, I know I'm not good at using shape changing. I've used that very, very poorly in the past. I think my Shifter series lasted one episode because I really couldn't use the shifter abilities. So I don't know how much I'm going to be using that size change ability in there. Now let's see what we got here. Okay, we start out with 9 strength and 9 con, and everything else is at 8. Well, how about I put that up there? I've never been into having a complete dump stat in there, so I'm going to try to see. We're going to be a bit of a ranger. We're going to be a bit of a ranger now. I'm probably emphasizing two-handed weapons, but there's got to be some archery involved in there also. So have a little bit at least into the to there. We're going to be tracking in the like. So wisdom is an obvious one in there. Okay, so let's throw a little bit more on the strength, wisdom, bit on the con. We've got 2 points left. All right, let's see how this works. This is probably not going to be an optimal build in any way, but let's see how the character works. And what we got here for our class ones in there, we have 24 points. Okay, that would be for 4 skills. We will want disable device. So it looks like that is a class 1 in there because we are a dark hunter in there. So we will have the open locks and disable device. We'll have some search in there, but of course we will want jumping very definitely. Do we want spot? Listen. Hide, heal, concentrate. Oh, okay, one more item in there. Not much. I'd say not much, but okay. So I'm going to skip concentration. Heal. I know that whenever I rest at rest shrines, it's nice to have that heal ability because if it's not up there, I feel like I didn't even bother with the rest shrine in the first place. So I will put up the heal skill, even though I don't use it actively at all. Add available feats in here. Well, favorite enemies. Oh yes, we had to have a favorite enemy in there. Now I am trying to be a dragon hunter sometimes, so I say what is closest to being that. So humans, monstrous humanoids. That would be give you to damage against enemies that have. Would that include dragonkin? I wonder. Okay, I'm going to assume that that might include dragonkin, so I'll put that in there. If it doesn't, well, we'll find out. I guess when I start going against kobolds, do I wind up? Actually, I probably could cleave kobolds without a special feat. Hmm. I think that the best feat for me to have now will be for resist poison. I always have trouble with poisons in there, so have a little resistance to them will help me along no matter what. I might come with better ideas later on for what's after that, but I don't think I could go wrong with having some resist poison in there. And so with that, we've got everything we have for our character. Oh, 90 in an appearance. I need to work on this. I have settled on this appearance. So let's head into the world. Definitely not the beach. Definitely not Jeets. And definitely not the airship. Though I suspect it's going to be something similar onto that. Speak with Elminster. We start by talking to Elminster. Elminster is replacing Jeets as the opening NPC? Well, that's interesting. Sage of Shadowdale. Well now, what have we here? I was expecting to find answers out here in this twisted place. Yet I must admit that I didn't expect to find them in the form of a lost soul. Who are you and where am I? Why, I am Elminster, the Sage of Shadowdale, and a wizard of considerable renown, even if he does say so himself. And we are in the Demon Web, the domain of the Spider Queen Loth. Well, that's quite a fun place to start. I wonder. No, I don't think they would have the Drow start there because you play Eberonian Drow, not Underdark Drow. So perhaps I'm not going to make changes for any other characters. Yes, Loth's twisted plans are beginning to unfold, and I came here to seek for a way to prevent them from coming to fruition. Now, ye know my tale. Who might ye be? And how did ye arrive in the demon web? Well, I'm not sure about that. My memories are a bit hazy. Interesting indeed. I sense a spark of potential in ye. A spark that makes me believe that our chance meeting is not chance at all. Hmm. Perhaps in time a pebble like it can create the landslide that we need to stop Loth. Yet the demon web is too dangerous a place for such a tiny spark to remain. I can send ye to somewhere else, a far-off world, where I sense the seed of Loth's plan slowly growing. So, Spark, can I rely on thy help when, in some far-off time, we meet again? Okay, this is how I'm going to wind up in Korthos or the Borderlands or someplace like that. So they don't have to have an entire new player experience or anything like that. Okay, you could count me in on that. Then we have reached an accord. Ye will find a portal up ahead. Take it, and thy journey will begin. Thank you, I guess. Portal, is that, I presume that he is pointing properly? Oh, well, yeah, up the web, of course. To another world. Another world. Alright, is this other world Korthos, or is it the Borderlands? It's to the airship, of course. Where else would it be? Okay, so you do get onto the airship eventually, and the regular items. It's just that you start with the little conversation with Elminster. Alright, I guess that's a bit of a compromise in the whole situation. Alright, so would I like to start at level 7, at level 4? Would I start at level 1 of Korthos or the Borderlands? Now, if I were familiar with either the Duergar or the Dark Hunter, I would likely choose level 4 and go out against the Night Brigade because that at least would be in the Forgotten Realms and the far off land isn't as far off as one would think in there. But instead, I think since I am familiar with neither of them, I'm going to start at level 1 and head on and find you in the Borderlands. I'll probably have to take a quick trip to the grotto first, but I will meet you in the Borderlands. I have made it to the Borderlands, and for some reason, I've got a mail notification here, and I don't know why. I don't usually get one when I am starting a new character. See what this is all about. From Norel, subject Terror of Demogorgon item redemption. Oh, okay. I was wondering how I was going to redeem my various items from the expansion. Honored customer, I have received a shipment of goods for you to claim at your earliest opportunity. You will find me either in Evening Star near the burned out church or in Eberron Hall of Heroes. So, that means I'll have to get to the Hall of Heroes at some point. So we're not going to be looking at the goodies that come with the expansion pre-order until I finish up my little time here in the Borderlands. I am starting out with no money, so therefore I can't go in with the hireling or anything like that. So I'm going to start with obstructing the orcs. That's when we go against the two orc tribes, and let's see if I could hit the broadside of a beetle. Oh, I didn't know that there were 5 of them when I started this. Oops. So I'm starting out with obstructing orcs because I think that will give me some combat. Okay. Oh, okay. I was thinking I was having trouble hitting them or something like this, but it looks like I killed them all. Alright. Okay. Oh, okay, the Wolf Riders. Alright. I think they've always detected me first, and this is the first time I think where I detected them before they detected me. So I wasn't exactly sure what was going on there. There we go. But I thought that maybe obstructing the orcs would give me a good way to test the various abilities of there. Because the one with the kobolds, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like one that will be much of a test on the character. I would like to have a test on the character before I go into some of the more puzzly ones that may be around. Let's see. How about this bear? Now, I do have these abilities to increase my size. This is for 1 minute you grow in size, gaining a +5 psionic bonus to PRR. This cancels reduce. Okay, PRR is, I assume PRR is, I'm sure it has something with your ability to attack with it. Probably your melee power or something, your physical power. And this is for 1 minute you're shrinking in size, gaining a +3 psionic bonus to dodge. And of course in the middle is you revert to normal. So physical and range rating, or physical, it is, oh, PRR. Alright, that is physical resistance rating. I guess I was expecting it to be some sort of an offensive bonus it was going to give you. But apparently it's a physical defense bonus instead. Alright, whatever. Let us head up and reach the orc cave. Well, we could deal with these.
Small, squalid cave entrances dot the ravine walls. These must be the Caves of Chaos, where the cultists and their monster allies have made their base.
I think we're doing reasonably well so far. Of course, this is a level 1 zone, so it's not exactly like it's supposed to be ready to kill me or anything like that. Hey. Let's belay the orcs for a moment. Let's get some treasure. What rogue could resist? Oh, actually, I'm not technically a rogue. I am a ranger with some rogue abilities. Well,
the door behind you seals shut as you enter. There's now only one way to go. Forward. That's fine with you, as this cave is said to contain much treasure.
A minotaur.
A burly minotaur stands behind a magical barrier, guarding a pile of treasure. Always more. Always more. The minotaur snorts. Greed draws you adventurers like moths to the flame. Have fun starving in my cave with the treasure just out of reach.
We will see. That is 20-second cooldown, and right. Oh yeah, for 1 minute. For 1 minute. So let's see what I can find here. This enlarged thing, how does it work with? Oh, first of all, make sure I turn instead of trying to go through a non. Oh, yeah, that was the entrance. We go this way. Oops-a-daisy. Okay. Try that. And you. Okay, that's... Okay, we got a trap here, obviously. But I can disable traps, right? There you go. Yeah, of course.
This crest matches one of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier. There must be more somewhere in the cave.
Yeah, unlike rogues and artificers, dark hunters apparently do not get thief tools when they start. Well, after this adventure, I suppose I'm just going to have to... I am just going to have to head on out. Oops. Back to the keep. Alright, there you go. Now I just have to return to the keep and buy some
The
thief
webs
tool
that
with the
cover the
treasure.
walls of this part of the cave quiver for an instant. Then, a massive spider lunges out of the shadows.
Okay. Well, I get my first action point. That could be useful. Well, spiders have been dealt with. Oh, hold on. Sivers. I don't know if that's worth anything, but if it is, I can sell it. Maybe get some thieves' tools and enough money for a hireling. I really should stop casting that right at the start of combat because it puts you out unable to do anything when you cast it. So I should learn not to do it right at the start of combat. And strength damage. Ah, wonderful. Well, so much for my poison resistance that I gave myself. I'm not resisting it very well. Now, let's see what we have here. Let's... There's supposed to be skeletons or something like that in here, right? Let's see what happens if I enlarge. There we go. Hopefully the additional physical resistance will help in this matter. Oh, actually, let's see, physical resistance. Physical resistance rating. This rating will cause you to take 5.66 less damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. Alright. That's where this thing is. So if I undo this, it goes down to 1. So apparently I must have one that's inherent to the race or something like that. Or maybe everybody has that one. Who knows? Someone who's played everything and knows what all those numbers are. That's who knows. And I'm not that person. Now, let's see what we've got here. We've got... Oh, that's trying to tell me about this wonderful way I could... I did it again! How did I kill them? I have no idea. Alright, now, let's see. We've got the usual puzzle thing here. Let's see. How about this? A relatively easy one. Crest of the wolf.
This should be enough crests to fill all of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier.
Good. Now, do I have anything else I need to... defeat before doing that? Yeah, we got these things. Yeah, they don't last very long. Alright. Well, things will be obvious on, or better suited to see how well I'm doing when I get to the to Total Chaos, the last part of the Borderlands series. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest, make sure I'm at full health before facing the Minotaur. I'm sure the Minotaur is going to be tougher than everyone else. Probably just... Oh. Now for the Minotaur. I think that is... Oh, more of these things. That is this way. So what I'm going to do... I will first do this. Give myself some additional PRR. That might help against this beast. And the third one right over here.
With all three crests neatly fitted into their sockets, the magical barrier fades. The infuriated Minotaur gives a roar of rage and attacks. The
No, he
Minotaur's
doesn't.
bellow is cut short as it collapses.
If it
Now
does.
the treasure the creature had been guarding is yours for the taking.
Aha! Now let's see what I get. Ooh. Granite Grippers. Strength +1. Let's have a look at that in general. Okay. Radiant Gloves of Repair 2. Well, that's not too useful with me, but Granite Grippers +1 to Strength. Well, probably not too much either, but anything else that helps me with strength might be Evasive 1, Hide of Light, Resistance 3. Let's see, Max Dex bonus is 4. Max Dex bonus is armor classes. I'm going to have to think about this armor check penalty of -2. It's sort of a bit of a trade-off on various things. I'm going to have to think on that. That's not anything that's going to be rather obvious or the like. All right. Anyway, stuff I can sell so that I can get some thieves' tools. And I will meet you in another one of the dungeons with those thieves' tools in the next episode of Piney Plays the Duergar.